So, what happened to my upload schedule? I mean, it's literally been 2 months since I uploaded a video, and before that, it was a super long amount of time. Well, I have been incredibly busy. So, I had to make this whole thing in like all of last week. This is all TIG welded through here, by the way. Look at all beautiful. Actually, they look terrible, but like for never TIG welding before, they look half decent. So I had to TIG weld this whole tank. I had to TIG weld this tank. Long story short, this is a complex thing that took forever. So I've probably spent a good, I don't know, 40 hours on that thing. And then the next thing that I've been working on is, yeah, I know it's a mess. This isn't my fault for once. This is 100% my brother. Hot, got him. Just leave your expensive prototypes laying in a pile of crap. Smart plan. So, this is a rail. Super cool thing about this rail, you see that extra hole right there? When you slide it to this side, you can put the pin through and it locks it in place so you can store it easier because it's much smaller, so you can put it up against your wall or whatever. Instead of having it this wide, it's much narrower, so it's just easier to store. So, what is this rail? Well, it's a rail. There's a few things special about it. If I take this pin out, you want to see how tall this gets? Let me quick zoom you out. There's 9 inches. That's much higher. Let me quick grab a tape measure. 16, almost 16 inches. Goes from 9 to 16. That's a pretty good amount of adjustability. The only other rail that is this adjustable is the Fresh Park rail. It goes to, what does that one go? I think it's 8 to 18. I'll put it up on the screen right here. So this is pretty close. But the great thing about this one is on the Fresh Park rail, you need to keep track of 2 different types of legs. This one, it's only got 1. There's not 2 different legs. This one's just really dang adjustable. Like, there's, you know what I mean. Let me quick show you. And we're done. So, what that was for is this is basically what you got with the Fresh Park rail. You've got 2 different length pieces, and then you've got like a bottom and top part. I'll insert some pictures here on what I'm talking about. I don't have this whole having 2 different pieces. I've just got 1 piece. And this piece goes from 9 to 16 inches. So that's cool. You're probably thinking to yourself, why should you care? Because it's my rail. Well, I think I'm gonna make them and I'm gonna sell them. That's the plan. If enough people want to buy these rails, I will make these rails. So yeah, there's gonna be a pole right up here. Here. So you might be wondering, why are you paying an extra $60 compared to an element rail for this rail that I'm making? First reason is element rails only go from 10 to 13 inches. Mine goes to about 9. It goes from about 9 to about 15 inches instead of 10 to 13. So you get a few inches more adjustability. The other thing is, currently, this is at the top of its height. Ready to see how much this thing wobbles when it's all the way up? Yeah, that's nothing. Like, I can barely make it wobble at all. And that is at the top height. This rail has super close tolerances, and that's why you're paying an extra $60 for it. Oh, the other reason, it's all powder coated. Powder coating lasts generally longer than paint. A few other cool things. If this beautiful powder coating does wear off, it's just John Deere black. So you can go buy a spray paint can of John Deere black and spray paint over it to fix it. Okay, so it is actually about 3 days later from the clip I recorded right before this one. Long story short, I had to wait for the snow to melt. Anyways, what was I saying again 3 days ago? Oh yeah, the best part about this rail is this top right here. Those holes all the way down the rail were there for a reason. It's so you can install a non-steel top. So this right here is UHMW. If I manufacture these, I will probably end up using high density polyethylene, which is a number 2 plastic.
I believe. Don't quote me on that. The great thing about this is you don't wear off the paint then, so it doesn't start rusting. The rail will not start rusting then because you're grinding on this surface instead of the steel. And the other great thing about that,
you can get different materials. I'm thinking about making a stainless steel top, a potentially aluminum top, and a plastic top. And you can use whichever one works the best for your condition. For example, if you were in California, I would say the aluminum top would probably work the best. If you were in the Midwest, I would say the stainless steel top would work the best. So now that I've covered everything great about this rail, let's go try it out. Now that the snow is also melted enough where the ramp is no longer covered in snow and it's actually almost 50 degrees out. So yeah, let's go use it. Okay, so the rail is working great. It actually was rock solid, even though there's actually no rubber under it. It's just bare powder coated steel. I did have to put a little bit of wax on top because it didn't slide too well, just raw UH&W. So, and here's how confident I am that it will withstand the weather. And I'll just leave it there until it melts. Yeah, the reason I can do that is because of everything being powder coated. Powder coating lasts a really long time, and it's a good rust inhibitor. It's generally considered better than paint. The other reason why is I'm not scratching the surface because I am scootering on a sheet of plastic and not the actual steel. So this should be fine in 6 weeks when all this dang snow melts. Okay, there was so much snow on this ramp. There was probably a good 2 or 3 feet of snow. I threw sand all over to get the snow to melt quicker. It worked really well. And then the other thing I did was I had to scrape all of the ice off. Here's the pile of ice. It's a good 2 inches thick all the way through. It's actually melting pretty fast. So yeah, if you would be interested in purchasing one of these rails, I'll throw up a poll. I think there was a poll right up here. Or just throw it in the comments if you would be interested in one of these. If I do decide to manufacture them, first of all, I probably will if enough people want them. I'll probably do fairly small runs of only probably 10 to 25-ish rails at a time because I'm gonna make them all in America. Like I'm gonna outsource this to another country. I will probably end up welding them in that shed right back there. Or I might outsource it to one of the local companies around here that does welding and manufacturing. I don't know, but it will be done locally to Minnesota. It will be American made. I probably only ship in America. I think the price will be around $200. So yeah, if you're interested, drop it in the comments. I'm just trying to get basically like a ballpark amount of people that'd be interested, just so I don't waste my time making all these rails if nobody wants to buy them. But if you do, answer the poll up here or just tell me in the comments. It would be greatly appreciated. So I'm just gonna do some flat stuff to warm up because this is literally the first time this year that I've scootered. It's probably been about 6 months, so yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna go in now because that doesn't look fun. Looks a little gray. I was hoping I'd be able to land more stuff, but it's both cold. It is already raining, and it's gonna rain some more. So yeah, no. You know what? I don't think this is buried enough. Ugh. Looking better. There we go. We'll let that sit for the next few days or weeks. So yeah, I think that's gonna be the end of the video. Sorry that this video is a bit shorter. I've still been incredibly busy with school, other stuff. Probably got a good 2 hours of free time every day. So yeah. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Like it if you liked it, subscribe if you liked it, share it if you liked it. See ya.